Parloa.
We're so excited to have you here with our next crew from DIGITALL, and they will be talking about AI-infused input management and voice AI. And without further ado, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be here today. We are not here to present DIGITALL. If you want to access our website, please feel free to connect to it. Or we have a booth right behind. All my colleagues can give you a bit more. We are here today with my colleague Lara to explain you what we have been doing with input management over the last 2 years. All right? Important, we are, of course, a partner of Parloa, okay? And we want to show as well how we can combine multi-channels, emails, and voice AI. Lara, please tell us how it started, the journey. Why this input management?
Yeah. So I think as most of us have heard a couple of times today, that when we think about how long usually it takes to process an email, and how long usually it takes to, like for people in the back end to process an email entirely, we're speaking about around about 10 to 15 minutes. And what does that actually mean in our day-to-day lives as someone who works in the back office? Usually it means that someone working in the back office takes around 10 to 25%, so almost a quarter of their daily week or weekly hours to fulfill manual data entry tasks. And as we have heard a couple of times today already, I won't go too deep into that topic, is that we as customers, we want fast service. We want a rapid answer when we need a solution, and we don't want to wait a couple of days or even weeks sometimes when it comes to receiving an answer for a request. And last but not least, when we think about human hands, manual data entry always comes with some human errors. So we have around about 1 to 3% of data integration errors when we have to manually transfer data from one system to another. So we at DIGITALL, we came up with some sort of a solution in order to tackle the issue. So I will be your client today, and of course I'm not alone, I'm with my colleague Fabrice. And I have a simple request that I would address to my insurance company. And as we all know, usually we have different input channels, for example, emails, chatbot, and voice. And we will focus a bit more on email today and how we combine it with Parloa. And right in the middle of it, we have our AI-infused input management. And of course, at the very end, we have the backend system where we later on publish the data that we have extracted. Don't be afraid, this won't be the process at all, because my colleague will give you a little bit more insights how the process actually looks like, because later on we have a live demo and Fabrice will serve as your business analyst and human in the loop. And with that, I hand over to you.
Thank you very much. So I will explore this little box in the middle to explain you step by step how we do it. So as Lara mentioned, she's the client, and she sends an email. And very often it's not a pure text email. You will have attachment, scanned document, pictures, whatever you want to attach it. It can be a bit complex. The first step would be to read the content of this email. We all know it, rubbish in, rubbish out. So we want to make sure that before we start processing this email, we can read properly the content of this email. Here we're talking OCR technology. You all know it. But what we have been doing at DIGITALL is to enhance a bit this OCR technology, because if you read just text, sometimes it doesn't make any sense. I take an example, a table, a cell, a checkbox might not be related. So we combine OCR technology and computer visions to make sure that at the beginning of our process, we have a very clear structure of the emails. Next step would be to classify your email. What does it mean classify? Is using LLM technology, models, to understand what is the content of my email. What is it about? Is it a new claim? Is it a request for information? Is it an IBAN change? And the idea would be, after classifying this email, we can have more than one request, of course, we will extract data. So that is the objective of this input management, from unstructured documents, emails, to structured documents. And that's our step here. We will also use LLM technology, prompt technology to extract data. Then, when it's processed, of course, we will send a nice confirmation emails to our client. Lara will receive an email. Thank you very much for your emails. We process this and this information. We arrive in the so-called happy path. If everything works fine, we extract everything, objective, to push to the backend system. No AI here, it's pure API. We don't claim that the solution is always 100% secure or correct because we might miss some information. The LLM model might be a bit confused. So we propose what we call the human in the loop. So it's an interface, 360 view of the result of this extract. And me, iBusiness, I received an alert, an alarm telling me, okay, please check this request. Some information is missing. I go inside, I check the documents, I might contact the clients to fulfill the missing informations. Or it's what we want to extend. Why don't we use Parloa, right, to fix this automatically? And we will show you in a demo in a few seconds how we can also use Parloa to interact with the client, Lara, and ask Lara that we are missing some information. Parloa collects it, save it in our backend systems, and push it back. So that's basically this end-to-end process. And of course, I'm sure you face it with your clients. AI is still a bit new. We want to make sure that it's transparent, that we can log not just the result of this end-to-end process in terms of performance and seconds, but also in terms of quality, because it's a constant improvement. So typically, if some processes are not done properly, we want to tune with LLM, we want to tune with the prompt based on KPIs. Okay? Lara, tell us a bit more about the technology behind how we do it. I mentioned already LLM. Go into details and don't say too many secrets about the solution, please. Just high level.
Yes, exactly. So as Fabrice already told us before, I sent an email and I had different attachments. So what happens now, we have all seen the logo before. I think we all by now know the OpenAI logo better than the one of Nike and McDonald's, that we use the large language models from OpenAI services and we play with two different prompts. So the very first prompt is our classification prompt. So the classification prompt basically serves as an identifier what kind of business process we would like to work with. In that case, for example, we have two examples. We have a claim, because, for example, we want to report a car accident, and we have a change for a bank information request. So what happens now is that we use the classification prompts to, of course, make an open API call and classify the information to have an idea what kind of business process we're talking about. In that case, the result was that we are talking about a bank information. The next step is that now we would like to know what kind of information we would like to extract, because of course we want to avoid extracting information that someone working in the backend or the system itself won't need later on. So in that case, the information extracted is very simple because we're talking about a bank information change. So what is needed? The name of the customer. We would like to have the new IBAN, maybe the old IBAN, maybe the BIC, maybe the name of the bank, and not much else is needed. So we go through the very same steps again. We make the OpenAI call. We extract the information, and the information is stored as in a JSON format and then can later on be processed. The beauty about the technology behind is that, as you can see, we're using prompt technology, which means that we can just steer the system by using natural language. Also, because we work with a cooperation of Azure OpenAI services, that means that as soon as OpenAI releases a new large language model, the very same large language model will be available for our customers to use and to play with and try maybe if the prompt maybe works a bit better with a new OpenAI model. And of course, because we use prompting technology, we do not need to fine-tune or train any base models. And we also do not need to use RAG, retrieved augmented generation, to provide temporary databases in order to extract or classify data. Because all the information that we need is stored in the prompts. Talking a bit more about the core or the technological heart of our solution. As Fabrice already said in the very beginning, we are a Microsoft solution partner, not only a Parloa partner. So of course, our solution is Azure-based. And we have different layers where we use several Azure components. So the very first layer would be the source layer, where we basically have our data sources, for example, SharePoint or an Exchange server. But we also use an Azure blob storage, where, for example, we store the input data and the metadata, for example, from the OCR data or the emails and so on and so forth. And of course, we also have an SQL database that we use in order to store our logs. In the intelligence layer, we also use different Azure components. For example, as Fabrice already mentioned, we use document intelligence in order to use the OCR. Usually, in that case, we use the read and layout model. And we also use the different GPT models that are incorporated within the Azure OpenAI Corporation. And we also use a Graph API in order to access the MS Exchange server. In the third layer, we use AI as a service, which means that first and foremost, our platform is a web application. And then, of course, we do have the opportunity to connect a third-party users, as for example, Parloa in that case. And as we already said, because we're talking Azure, of course, all the information is stored in the client's tenant, which means us as Digital, we don't have any access to the data process. And of course, the client's data is secure. We are still, after all, in Germany, so data protection is something that we all hopefully do care about. And last but not least, we also have the opportunity to connect consumers, for example, different backend systems through a very simple API. Well, now I already told you, well, in Germany, data protection is very important, and we all want to make sure that our data is stored and secured safely. But we're still working with large language models, and we're still working with OpenAI. So do we really trust them? Well, we should, because actually there is a special agreement between Microsoft and OpenAI that ensures that all the data that you use in your prompts, all the data that is processed, are safe underneath the special security guideline between Microsoft and OpenAI. So everything that you talk to, all that you share with the large language models that you're using is, of course, not used to train any models of OpenAI. Well, I think now we've seen a couple of slides, and they all get colorful and fancy, but I think we also want to see what we're talking about in live action. So in the next step, we would like to show you a little bit of our demo.
And I faced a challenge today is how can I share my laptop here to this monitor? So basically, I'm organizing a team sessions with my colleague upstairs. So can you please swap? Fantastic. Thank you very much. So what we will do now is an end-to-end story. So Lara, my clients, send these emails. And what did you send, Lara? Tell us.
Exactly. So this morning, we all know traffic in Berlin can get a bit crazy. I had a car accident. And very unfortunately, I had to send and report this accident to my insurance company. While I was sending my accident report, I also remembered that I changed my bank information, and I would like to share that with my insurance company. As I'm a bit of a lazy customer, of course, I just crammed all the information together in a little bit of a, not so nicely formatted PDF. So some of the information, as you can see, is in the email, but the new email, IBAN, I couldn't bother. So I just attached my dear aunt's transaction slip. And as you can see, now we face two challenges, because not only did I say that the new IBAN is in the attachment, as we can see in the IBAN, or in the attachment, there are two different IBANs. One, of course, is related to myself, and the other one is related to my dear aunt, Martina.
And tell us, why did you put this attachment as well?
Because, I'm a bit lazy, and I just wanted to send everything to my insurance company, and because I had a car accident and I would like to process both of the documents.
Absolutely. So this email now will be sent to our input management mailbox. We will listen to this email, we will check it, and I will show you the result. So again, we made it as complex as possible for the LLM to challenge us with this IBAN number, but also to ask him, okay, we have two requests in this email. So we go to our input management solution. What is it? It's first a list view where we can track all the inbound emails, what we have been doing with them. And Lara sent this email this morning. Of course, we didn't want to do it live because we wanted to make sure everything is ready, but you can see the result of this email. It was processed this morning, and our input management identified two business processes in this email. We have a claim, and we have a bank information. It was processed in a few seconds, and if we drill down to the result, you see that the LLM has classified two business processes, a claim and bank information. And for each business processes, of course, you will need a list of extracted values. For claim, we can see the result is pretty good, Lara. So we can see that it was from you, it was this address. And the magic as well was that we ask our LLM not just to classify the emails, but to classify the document. we had this PDF with 2 documents. You can imagine we had client with 100 pages. They wanted us to classify it a bit better. And here we see that for this specific case, we have the Unfallbericht, so the accident report. If we go to the bank informations, we've got the IBAN scan. And the beauty again, you remember we ask, give me the new IBAN. And the models can understand that the new IBAN is in the attachment and it takes this value. No fake data, you can challenge me, whatever you want. The model understands the context. Okay, that's really the big value of those LLMs. So now that we have a good result, you have seen that the status of this email was needs review. So normally I go in the system and I see that the bank is missing. Exactly. But I'm on holidays today and I activate my AI agents to fix it for us. So important is we send an automatic answer to Lara. All right? And we say, Mrs. Brinker, thank you very much for the email. The email was sent a few seconds after the emails. We identified 2 business processes, bank informations, but please, the name of the bank is missing. Either you send us an email, Frau Brinker, or you call our magical Parloa agents.
Exactly. And as we all know, I don't have a car anymore because I just had an accident, so I need to catch the train. So while I'm most probably waiting for the train, because, you know, trains in Germany are always a bit delayed, I will call the Parloa agent and see if we can solve the issue. So let me see how that works.
Hello, my name is Sabine, and I am your virtual insurance assistant based on artificial intelligence. How can I assist you?
Hi, good morning. This is Lara speaking. I've just received an email and there seems to be some information missing.
Good morning, Laura. Could you please provide your customer ID so I can assist you further?
Sure. That's 12703.
Thank you, Mrs. Brinker. Let's proceed with your request. I found some recent correspondences. Let's identify the one you need help with. I found 2 correspondences. One titled Request for Information for Claim 987 from the 20th of May, and another titled Update of Bank Details and Claim Notification from today, the 25th of September. Which one would you like to address?
The one from this morning, the very last one, please.
Let's see what information is missing from the email sent this morning. The bank name is missing from your email. Could you provide it, please?
Well, that's Deutsche Bank.
Thanks for providing the bank name. Updating the record now. The record has been updated successfully. Is there anything else I can support you with today?
No, thank you very much, Sabine.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Brinker. If you'd like to see more of what our solution aim can do, feel free to visit us here at the Parloa.
No fake, I swear, no fake. No fake, no.
I mean, we've all seen
Yeah, I didn't.
a Frenchman raised his hands.
Wonderful. So I think we still have 1 minute to conclude, correct? Yeah, yes, fantastic. So, can I ask you to swap back to the PowerPoint, please? Yep. Thank you. Thank you. So that was the demo, end-to-end story, omnichannels, email channels, and voice channels. Okay.
And I mean, if we've seen the use case we've just shown you is a very mundane use case. It's a very simple use case, but we wanted to make it as easy as possible for you today to experience a bit of the solution that we're currently offering. And just to wrap it up, just some of the benefits that our customers usually have. As I said before, that the beauty about our solution is that you have instant access to the latest large language models that OpenAI provides to the customers. And of course, it's easy configurable, which means that you don't need any programming skills. You just need to be able to write some cohesive sentences and sort of know how your business processes work in order to be able to write meaningful prompts. Last but not least, as I said before, the data is stored securely within your Azure tenant. And most importantly, you don't need very much to get started. All you need is an Azure subscription and our help.
Yeah, of course.
And before we finish, we wanted to show you a little bit of the versatility that our solution has. And I mean, most likely you will want to use it for the customer service solutions. But today we thought, we spice things a little bit up and maybe use it for a very simple quiz. So as you've seen before, there are some very good opportunities for scalability with our solution. And what do you think? How many person days can you save per month with our digital AIM solution if you process 10,000 emails a month? The answers are, well, either 2, 57, 127, or maybe even 100,000. And if you think you know the solution, then please feel free to send an email to, it's not test minus, it's AI minus input minus management at digital.com. And the very first 50 people will receive one of our books. Very unfortunately, I'm very sorry, they're only available in German. They are about the intelligent workplace and sales, where we have also included one chapter about our input management solution. So it's AI minus input management minus at digital.com. And you're also most welcome to visit us at our booth. We are in room number 2, and we also have our technological team with us today if you want to see a little bit more how we configure the platform and how easy it is actually to do it, and how we built how we connected the Parloa solution within our AIM solution also. And Fabrice, please activate the use case so that the people who want to participate can now try to win a book.
So it's what I do now. I activate a new use case in our input management. We will listen to all your emails, check the answer, and the first 50 win a book. All right? We will track it live.
Perfect.
That was it.
That's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Parloa.